I'd like to introduce to you Miss Emily Laga. Emily is from Africa. She's from East Africa. She's from Kenya. She lives here in Arizona. And Emily is running for governor for the state of Arizona. So you will see Emily in our community. She will come to speak to us. I just thought to introduce her today, but you will see her coming around to talk to each of you or to talk to us collectively. So these are the Liberians in our community that I told you about.
Thank you. No, please, no, sir. Hold on, sir. Thank you. Okay, gentlemen, we are doing a great job so far. You guys are doing a great job, actually. You are doing a great job. So we need to keep going fast, okay? And also want to let you know, we as moderator can inject. Okay, we can inject, you know, and we can also ask you to hold on your talk for a few seconds. Let's move on. Let's move on. Our next question here is, since we talk about Constitution, we are on Constitution conversation. I want to know, the Liberian people want to know, what do you think about the current Constitution? Okay, and do you think there should be any amendment done? And if so, what section and why? Do you think the Constitution is working well for Liberian people? Do you think we should make some changes to the Constitution? And if so, why and where?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Thank you.
I've realized that there is a need for some serious constitutional amendments. One, there's duplication in the responsibility of the social committee and the education and cultural committee. So the social committee is also required to organize cultural activities, which is also the function of the Education and Cultural Committee. That's one. Another concern is the need to include places like Tucson. I think we should not leave those cities far away from Phoenix to the will and pleasure of the Executive Committee to decide on how we engage them. I believe so strongly we must include in the Constitution a way to have cities like Tucson represented either on the board or on the Executive Committee. Also, the youth. We've been talking about the need to have the active participation of young people in the activities of the association. I believe so strongly that we need to ensure that the youth have an independent body. We are Liberians, we cultural people. Our kids will not come to a meeting with us to disagree with us, to argue with us and stuff, but they're not going to do that. So we have to be able to have an independent youth body that institutionalizes what the youth want to be engaged into. But that body will be under the Executive Committee. And I recommend that. I know that the Lester Myers leadership was doing something like that. We're called the Youth Leadership Council Executive Board. Yes, to have an independent body. So that's one of the things I think we need to do. I also believe that we need to have what we call a programming and implementation committee. That committee will be under the Executive Committee, where your work is to work with all of the other standing committees to help them implement programs and activities. I have a lot more, but you know, we'll talk more about it.
Thank you. Mr. Boley, same question.
Well, I think that's one of the things we've ran on, constitutional amendment. The Constitution, in some areas, they are a little vague. In other words, they're not too clear. But one of the most important things that during our 2-year period, one of the most important things that we've heard from Liberians all around, because we listen to those people who compliment us, those people who also criticize us. One of the things we heard from almost all Liberians, what is the Liberian Association doing for us? That has been one of the things that has been on my mind. Let me tell you today, what thing we can do for the Liberian Association to do something for you. So what we want to do this time around, we want to make sure that the Constitution is amended to give Liberian people incentives. In other words, give you benefit for being part of this association. You can be paying your $20, $10 every day. You not get no benefit for it. It will make it, you will not even be attracted to the Liberian Association. Let's be honest. That is the reason why some people stay away. Because there is no benefit, there is no incentive. So what we have taught to recognize, or what we have taught to recommend, is to ensure, first thing we told you, when we institute due payment, for example, if we institute due payment, that due payment, once you are a member, let's say if we're having an event, that event at $20 go inside, you get a discount, you get $15 or $10. We start small. Another thing we also need to do, in the Constitution we want to do, I say this over and over, we talk about the issue of burial. I have been to different families, while they are crying, they are worried about raising $20,000, $25,000 to bury the family member. When we have decided that we want to secure a plaque or a lot for the Liberian Association, if you pay your $20 every month, that same money will use some of it. When something happens to somebody in our community, we'll pay for that lot monthly so that it can help with the burial processes. This is critically important. We want to ensure that the Liberian people get incentive. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I do a follow-up, please?
Yeah, go follow. 30 seconds. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the Constitution already provides an opportunity for due payment. Steve, if you were organizing programs and activity, if you're organizing quarterly or annual awards program, if you were organizing Unity Sports Tournament, if you are having immigration services, business development, financial literacy programs, these are incentives that Liberians, members of the association, benefit from. So already the Constitution provides incentive. All we need to do is to do our job. Is to organize these programs and activities. Liberians will benefit. The youth membership program will benefit.
Thank you.
You don't need to pay people for being members of the
association. Thank you, sir.
So,
do you want to respond?
Yes,
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
10 seconds, please.
So, folks, I will try not to gauge into the back and forth, but I'll also provide you clarity and context. The truth of the matter is, the Constitution is not even clear on if somebody died from somebody, how much you will get them. It's not even clear. Secondly, the due payment, the Constitution is not even clear between due payment and registration. It's not even clear. It's still confusing. And that's why I said the Constitution is vague. In other words, it's not clear. We must revisit it to be clear enough so that it is stated, then we can follow it. We can just make shift of it.
Thank you. Mr. President, have a photo. Mr. President, have a photo. You've been president for 2 years. Is that correct? And if you believe that the Constitution has some unclarity in the Constitution, what did you do as a president to make efforts to make sure the Constitution is clear and working for everybody? 30 seconds, please.
Thank you. I think that's a good question. It's a fair question. When we took over, we left the Constitution as it was. What we did was not to undermine the Constitution, but work in confines as human beings. So let's take, for example, we proposed a couple of times in our meetings to have a constitutional reform. We did that to the general body, but that's not how it works. You don't just come and say, you got to organize a committee to have a constitutional reform. And because we were getting closer to election, while dealing with other things, if we had done anything to the Constitution, you know what they would have said today? They would say they change the Constitution so they can stay there.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, quickly, before we move on, we got to move on. Quickly, we're out of time. Quickly, do you both agree that the Constitution needs to be amended? Do you both agree to that?
Yes, most definitely, I agree.
On some areas of the Constitution need to be amended?
Yes, I agree.
Do you both agree to that? Quickly.
Let me answer the question, okay?
Yes, sir, you already answered this question.
Yes or no?
Yes or no, please. Do you believe that?
I think I responded to that earlier.
Yeah, I'm asking a direct question. Do you both believe that there's a need to amend the Constitution in areas?
When I provided those provisions that I think should be, that's what I was doing.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let's move on. My next question is, what is the most important attribute of a successful leader? I'm going to ask two in one, so you have the time to answer both of them. Okay, the second question is, for many years now as Liberians, we have been hoping to have a community center. Can you both tell us, Mr. President and Brother Harris are coming in, what will you do to ensure that Liberians have a community center? Thank you. Mr. President, can you go first, please?
Thank you for that question. So, the first question, the first part of your question, like I said earlier, I agree that has to be constitutional amendment. Now, in the second part, what have we done? What we have done is we have written 90% of a proposal. Please, this is very, 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 very important for you to understand. We met with the Haitian community, and the Haitian community wrote a proposal to the state. And in that proposal, the Haitian community got a certain amount of money. It is doable. I wrote a proposal, so I know what it is. I know how it works. Cannot lie, cannot they say that you. When we got the proposal, guess what we did? To be transparent, we called all the community leaders. Even Pastor Twe were in our meeting. The board were in our meeting. Even President Lester Meyer was contacted to be part of the committee to write the proposal. We did that. And so far we have written our proposal 90%. What's needed to be done, folks? What's needed to be done? And when I say, when people say community center, we're not just thinking about one little place. No, we want an entire place where we can even, in that proposal, can even have our own party hall. So you don't have to pay 6,000, 7,000 somewhere else. No, you don't have to go and pay for center for youth. No, we want to have it inclusively, included in everything. That's why the proposal was very, very important. So all we need now is to get the location, attach it to the document, and send it out. And we are 100% convinced, based on our relationship with the state government and people in authority we have met with, once that is done, we will get that proposal approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So basically, the president took 2 years and he still writing the proposal. That's why he gets our write proposal in 15 days, 30 days. You don't need 2 years to write a grand proposal, people. Come on. Stop that. And let's be practical here. You don't need a big hall. Get an office space first. We don't even have an office space. Right? Let's get an office space first. Incremental development. Step by step. Not because you want to be president. So you say you get a community center, a big place. No. Get 4-room office space first. You've not been able to do it in 2 years. Let's be serious now, people. 2 attributes of a good leader: consultative, a leader who don't believe you know all. You reach out, you solicit view, you solicit perspective. That's how you become successful. You allow other people to do the work, and you take the credit as a leader. You just coordinate them. A leader who listens. I think as a leader, I'll be the last to speak. I'm going to listen. Let me just be clear here. At Crew Man, we talk a little fast, so I'm not being emotional. That's just how I talk. I just wanted to say that. This is what I'm going to do. Listen, you guys are all educated people here. Nobody with a war, a grant, 1 million, 2 million to an organization that don't have a single program. You don't have a single functional program. And you read a grant and say you want 2 million. Who's going to get that? Nobody's going to do that. So we're going to start the program. We'll get a small space. We'll launch these programs. And incrementally, we'll document them. And when we have sufficient information, we use that and develop a grant proposal. We go to state legislature, we engage state authority and say, these are things we are doing right now. If you give us the bigger space, we want to expand these programs. Then it makes sense. Then we turn to support the program. That's what
First of all, I would like you to look into the camera, introduce yourself to my fans and my followers, and we can get started.
Well, hello, audience. My name is Justin Poor. I have lived in Arizona now for like 3 years, and I'm happy to be here. Bollietv TV. Welcome.
Thank you. All right, so you already heard the man. So what we're going to be doing now, we're going to go straight into the question, no delay. Now, first, did you attend the debate this gone Sunday, right?
Definitely, I was there in full.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now we're going to just focus the camera on you. The audience will hear me ask questions, and you just look straight into my camera, and you can speak to the audience. All right? All right. So this is what we're going to start. First of all, are you on the team of any of the candidates, Steve Boley or Mr. GKONEAN?
I will say officially and definitely say yes. I'm on the team of GKONEAN, and I think he's ready for the job. I'm on it.
What's your role there? What's your specific role on that team?
If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm the senior policy advisor.
Are you not sure of your position? Or what?
I am sure, but I mean,
but you say if you're not mistaken, so we don't. Now, okay. So let me ask you. So now that I know you already have a SAR, how you think your SAR did during the debate?
I think my SAR Harry did extremely well.
What was one of the moments that you think that Harry did better in? And I mean, let me put it this way. What are some of the areas of questioning that came from the moderators that you think that Harry answered well? And what are some of the areas that you think he did not do well in?
Well, I think one of the highlights of the situation that day was when they asked Harry, how can he help in the community and how can he help our youth and whatnot, with the drug infested community, and how can he transform our community? And when he talk about the big brothers and the mentors, us coming in, people that are into mental health, people that have studied mental health that can reform our children and help our children in the community. People that can go into the single family, single mothers' homes and whatnot and help our children.
And to the moderator, some of these things occurred on our watch or while we are still president. It did. One of the first steps we took, like I said, we identify with the family. That is critically important. That is very, very important because we are dealing with human beings. We identify with the people. Not only that we identify with them, we provided the resources needed. Now, the way our Constitution is structured, and some of you might not understand this. If you do one thing for Mary and you don't do the same thing for John, it becomes biased and you are looked at in the community differently. What we are proposing is not only that we've sat and looked at some of these problems, but the truth of the matter is, even in the United States that we live in, the issue of drug is a huge epidemic. And so it's not a one-term fixed thing. Some of these young people are not even interested in the activities that we want to do. They're not.
Thank you.
So what we are proposing, it is realistic, it is factual, it is to get not only the church involved, is to get spiritual leaders involved, is to get parent education, is to provide them the resources,
Thank you.
and to direct them to the right places to go. So
Next on the list, Mr. Morris B. Bonnie. Again, you only have 1 minute to lay your premise or ask your question. No follow-up. After 1 minute, we're taking our mic. Thank you.
Okay, I don't need mine. No, you need mine. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. GKONEAN, thank you very much. You are very much definitive in answering the question and lay down your platform. Thank you very much. Mr. Steve, 2 years ago, you stood in Pastor Floyd Church. You took an oath to defend this Magna Carta, the Constitution of the Association. We serve as a compass to direct the affairs of the association. The affair of the association. After 1 month, you tear down, you trample upon this constitution. My question to you, Article 15, Section 2, it says...
Mr. Bonnie, it's about a minute.
Okay.
It's about a minute. So, I just said, you can use 30 seconds to lay your premise and at least 30 seconds.
Okay. So
there's a lot of people.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Section 2 says, all signers on the account of the association should be notified before any money come out. And all the money you took from the account, my signature was there, but I wasn't in the note. Yes.
Thank you. No, that's not, Mr. Bonnie, we can't do this. We can't do this. We don't want other people to follow what you're doing. That is. Hello.
Ask a question.
Mr. Bonnie.
Okay, hello. We expect you to come here prepared. Wrote your names down. You should have come here prepared with your questions. Okay, please. So we got 15 people. We're gonna move on. If your question is not your question is not work together, we're gonna move on. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Moderator, the Liberian people are here, and Mr. Vani was the secretary of the board. Can I just clarify something, because people cannot go with this information is not fair.
Yes, Mr. Boley. Yes.
Thank you. So, folks.
1 minute, Mr. Boley. Before let the clarification be for the general audience.
Sure.
Mr. Vani is complaining that he didn't end his question. So, with this being said, we might put him all the way to the bottom.
I want to be all the way at the bottom.
Because what he's doing, if every other person takes that route, we're not going to get out of here today. So if he wants to ask his question to you again, we're going to keep it for last. Thank you.
Well, let me clarify this point, folks. Let me clarify this. Folks, all monies, any money that was taken from the Liberian Association account, it had to go through the board of directors. We submitted a budget. As evidence by that, I brought some budgets. Some of the budget that we submitted and the board approved. Yeah. Thank you.